sir. Ah, it's good. It's nice. You look great. You on Facebook? Yeah, I'll have it for Facebook. You know, I'm not even thinking about it, right? The camera's making all these decisions that lifts me from the hard labor of figuring out the mechanics and puts me into a realm where I'm thinking more about the aesthetics because I know the camera is going to follow me there. But is the picture I made of Alexandra any good? Outside of the fact that she's lovely, she wants to kill me because it's a straight flash picture and it's not particularly attractive in terms of the way I lit her. So let's get the light off the camera. How many folks here use flash photography on a regular basis? How about TTL, remote flash? How many folks really are comfortable with flash on every level? Really? Okay. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, let's give this a try. Let's jump the flash off the camera. Let's get into the big three of light. What are the big three of light? Quality, color, direction. So let's achieve a measure of control over direction. Now, when I photograph Alexandra, say John, okay, it's going to help me, just with a raw flash. He's going to be off the camera right. And I'm going to speak to that light now with this master flash. It's going to talk to this light. So what am I achieving control of now? Direction. Not so much quality, because the same quality of light as this, about the same distance, but I'm at least getting it off the camera. I'm going to achieve, to a measure, to a small degree, an ability to control the direction, which means I have a highlight side and a shadow side. Very cool. Very nice. Okay. All right. What's the problem? She's the same exposure as he is, but now what do I have the power of? I can light her, and I can drop you folks down, right? If I don't have a flash, I can't do that. Everything's in the same exposure template. If you took somebody outside right now, it's 250 at f8 outside, let's say. I make a picture. Well, what's 250 at f8? Everything, you know, my subject. Hey, sir. Ah, it's good. It's nice. You look great. You on Facebook? Yeah, I'll have it for Facebook. You know, I'm not even thinking about it, right? The camera's making all these decisions that lifts me from the hard labor of figuring out the mechanics and puts me into a realm where I'm thinking more about the aesthetics because I know the camera is going to follow me there. But is the picture I made of Alexandra any good? Outside of the fact that she's lovely, she wants to kill me because it's a straight flash picture and it's not particularly attractive in terms of the way I lit her. So let's get the light off the camera. How many folks here use flash photography on a regular basis? How about TTL, remote flash? How many folks really are comfortable with flash on every level? Really? Okay. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, let's give this a try. Let's jump the flash off the camera. Let's get into the big three of light. What are the big three of light? Quality, color, direction. So let's achieve a measure of control over direction. Now, when I photograph Alexandra, say John, okay, it's going to help me, just with a raw flash. He's going to be off the camera right. And I'm going to speak to that light now with this master flash. It's going to talk to this light. So what am I achieving control of now? Direction. Not so much quality, because the same quality of light as this, about the same distance, but I'm at least getting it off the camera. I'm going to achieve, to a measure, to a small degree, an ability to control the direction, which means I have a highlight side and a shadow side. Very cool. Very nice. Okay. All right. What's the problem? She's the same exposure as he is, but now what do I have the power of? I can light her, and I can drop you folks down, right? If I don't have a flash, I can't do that. Everything's in the same exposure template. If you took somebody outside right now, it's 250 at f8 outside, let's say. I make a picture. Well, what's 250 at f8? Everything, you know, my subject.
Because basically you have a captive audience, you have animals there, work yourself around, get the shot where you look, always be in tune with your background. There are so many people that get so focused on the animal all the time, they don't get into the background. Listen, folks, this technology that you have here today takes all the thinking out of all of this stuff. You know, I say all the thinking, that's a stretch of imagination, but most of the thinking. You know, back in the old film days, I would spend $200–300 a shoot on film and only get a few usable images because you can't check them all the time. The greatest invention we've ever had in the last 20 years is the delete button. It's fantastic. You can shoot forever and ever and ever, and if it sucks, you just get rid of it. You see? And you get reusable film. So you're saving a fortune there, and the best training you have is what you're able to see in that LCD. So that's what you do working these portraits. Get animals, get behaviors. Use the technology. When I say you can shoot 10 frames a second, 8 frames a second, 5 frames a second, do it. If you see an animal going into behavior, don't just take the one click, hold the hammer down and get all those behaviors because the camera's going to freeze things that you don't see with your naked eye. I promise you. Again, a cloudy day, don't worry about the fact you don't have the bright light for the bright colors because sometimes that cloudy day is God's scrim. You know, you'll see these guys doing model shots up there and they pay a fortune to have these guys cover these big scrims so you don't get the hard shadows on the models. When it's a cloudy day, God's giving you the greatest scrim you could possibly have. You can get the detail in faces of animals like that. You get the expressions. And animals have expressions. Animals have emotions. You look at this and we tell it's a pensive thinking chimp. Here's a chimp that's a little happier. So you get a different type of expression, and these expressions will bring smiles to people's faces. Don't hesitate to use a speed light. All right? Even if it's on your on-climber flash or a separate speed light, use it. Even if it's a sunny day outside. Why? Because a lot of animals have shadows in different areas. Here you see this orangutan. He's kind of grumpy and he's got those deep-set eyes, and those eyes disappear into black. But if you put a speed light on it, even on the middle of the day, sunny, cloudy day, whatever, you got the bright light, you think, I don't need a flash, I got plenty of light, my camera's shooting plenty fast enough. No! You take that speed light, you adjust it, you take the shot, it makes a difference, you see? The eyes fill in, you got that little catch light in the eye, it makes all the difference. These speed lights can be adjusted in such a way that you're literally painting with that light. You can paint your photographs that way. Look how you can fill in the flash here. This animal, it would be like a dark burnt orange without that speed light that pops off the reflection, the catch light of the eye. You don't want to make that background black, you still want to make it nice. Suppose you're backlit. You know, an animal, you can't say, wait a minute, I got to get on the other side. No, you've got to work around what the animal's giving you. So if you got sun coming up behind a black animal, that seems to most people say, well, that's just a silhouette shot at best. No, you can adjust your speed light, adjust it in such a way where you have a black animal, sun behind it, but boom, you can still get a nice rim light on the back, you can light up the front, get the catch light, it makes more of an interesting image. So don't hesitate to use those speed lights, especially with birds. Birds are incredibly important. Why? Because feather coloration. For instance, birds do not produce blue pigment. There's no such thing as blue pigment. So whenever you see a blue bird, it's not blue pigment, it's refracted light off of the feather. It's the way the light is reflecting off the feather that gives you the blue color. Same thing with a lot of the greens. If I was not using a speed light here, this entire throat would be solid black. It's refracted light from the speed light that makes the green come out. Same thing here. You get a little pop here. Again, sun behind it, backlit coming in from the side, but it makes it a more interesting image. You get that rim light, get that little thing of spit. That's my favorite part of the image, the little thing of spit, as he's showing me that little mouth thing there. Sometimes you don't want to use the speed light. Again, it's never an all or nothing type thing. But you flex photograph have this if you can get it flying. It's a fast flyer, but you got to depend on the camera. These Nikons do that, baby. Just as soon as it starts flying, you get boom, you get that color coming out of the wings. It just pops. It's great. And that's not me. That's not me as a photographer. That's this equipment. That's this technology that you have today in cameras that can get these images and be able to preserve these memories. Oh, this is another great thing. I'm in Uganda, and I'm going through, and the stench is overwhelming. It's an ammonia stench, and I'm going to my guy. I go, we got to go in there. He goes, no, 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 we must not go in there. I go, no, no, we got to go in here. There's something in it. No, no, wait. I go in there, and all you hear is, and I look up, and I can't see anything because it's dark, but there's all kinds of urine and feces falling on my face. And I take the flash, and I shoot it, and it's 1,000,000 bats! There's 1,000,000 bats in there! And there's just bat guano and urine falling on me, and I'm taking these pictures. It's so exciting. It's such a fantastic feeling to be up there doing this kind of stuff. Cheetahs. I've done a lot of work with cheetah conservation in the wild. People look at images like this and go, oh, they're so beautiful. I want to pet one. These are wild animals. There are times when you don't want to pet them. But this is what's great about this camera. You could not manually get that picture unless you're incredibly lucky. But with these cameras now, they can, you can stop that, freeze that. It's unbelievable the type of images you can capture with these amateurs. Patience, patience. Here's a leopard that was I watched this leopard make a kill. I was with my wife. She bought the kill back. She didn't eat it. She left it at the base of a termite mound. And then she got to the top of the termite mound. And she waited there. And I said, she's got cubs down there. She's got to have at least a cub down there because she's not eating that kill. So we waited. After about 2 hours, my wife starts doing that thing where she kind of goes, that's kind of her way of saying, how long are we going to wait? You got to wait. You got to have patience. About 3 hours later, all of a sudden we hear a little rustling in the leaves. Boom! This is what you're waiting for. I'm going away and I'm taking the picture of the little baby. It's so cute. That's what you're waiting for. Another great, oh, this is a great moment. These lions made a kill. They made this wildebeest kill. Now in lion society, it's a lot different than our society. Because in lions, what lions do, with us, we want to make sure our kids are taken care of first, right? Our kids are the most important thing to us. To lions, the kids are the least important thing. The kids are the last ones to eat, no matter what happens. So they make this kill, and all these wildebeest, all these lions are eating. They're eating this wildebeest, except for the smallest lion. Every time he comes in, he gets the crap beat out of him. Just and you feel so bad for this guy. Well, finally these guys gorge themselves out, and they're laying on their back, and they're like passed out. So I'm putting my gear away. I said, okay, they're done eating. They're not going to eat anymore. And then all of a sudden, this little guy kind of goes, like, no, dude, don't put your camera away yet. I got your shot coming up right now. So I looked at him, I held my camera. He got up like in that little part in Lion King. He goes, I can't wait to be king. And he kind of strolls around the back end over here, comes walking over here. He looks at me, puts his leg around the neck of the wildebeest, looks up at me, and goes, okay, here's your picture. Boom! This is magic, folks. This is the type of stuff you just live to have. Here I am in Uganda, Rwanda, photographing the largest male gorilla at the time. His name was Gahunda. And everybody said, you know, Gahunda's really big. He's 400 plus pounds. I'm on this steep thing. I think I'm going to fall down. So I'm photographing him. Like I say, I keep asking Nikon, you guys got to come up with a shutter that makes no noise. Because he hears the click of the shutter, and then he looks up at me. And then I get this shot. Man, you never forget these moments, folks. You never forget these moments of a gorilla. You know, this massive animal that's been vilified in the media and movies and stuff, and you realize it really is a gentle giant. It's an incredible animal, and I was very privileged to see them out in the wild. You never forget these types of things. Again, patience. You come up with a scene like this, you go, well, that's not really a picture, they're all fast asleep, but you never know when they're going to wake up and make a little post shot for you. Oh, look at that, it looks like I posted. It's fantastic. Here's my favorite. These are cheetahs. This is a very famous cheetah in South Africa who's known for raising up to 5 cubs to maturity, which if anybody who's studied cheetahs, you know that's almost impossible. Cheetahs have a huge mortality rate. A mother's lucky if she can raise 1 to maturity. But she raised, and I was looking all over this reserve for her. I finally found her. Then I said, oh God, please, just let me get a shot with her where I can see all 5 of her kids, of her cubs, so I can show the people I saw this cheetah, because she's like a celebrity to me. And finally she came up because the bush was thick and they're all walking. You never got all of them together. And then finally she went up and I turned my mountain sunset and they're all there. And I'm going, oh my God, this is great. And then you start getting greedy again. You say, well, you know, God, I could use this cheetah a little bit more where I can see him a little bit more because it would really be perfect. So and you go, no, but that's not really what I'm looking for. I really need something else. And you never, listen, it's very important you should understand this. You should never, when you're in the wild, be making noises or doing things to get an animal's attention. It's not the right thing to do. A lot of times it stresses an animal out. So I'm waiting here, I'm just waiting. I'm saying, oh guys, please, oh, that's really close, God, but this guy's still there, please, God, please. And then all of a sudden, as if the stars align, it's like, boom! Oh, jeez! Let me tell you something. 5 minutes, all right, Jesus, I hate when you rush me all the time. You make me nervous. Okay, I'm almost done. No, I'm done. So this is what you gotta do. You gotta remember to do this, enjoy it. I think I got one thing here. Oh, this is the story. Oh, that's it. I'm gonna finish the story. This is the best story ever. This is a little cub that was born at the zoo. It was the first cub born at our zoo, first lion cub. Huge story, right? Except the problem was his mother was very young. She wasn't producing enough milk. We had to subsidize his feeding. So we had to take him from his mother, feed him, put him back to his mother. And everybody think, oh, look how cute, right? Little cute lion, right? No, he was a nasty little lion. He was all kinds of nasty. But we put him back to his mother, and they finally made it over the hump, and the day came when we could release him back out to the exhibit. We called the media. It's the first lion born at the zoo. This is a historic day. The media comes out. We put him out on the exhibit. Oh, it was beautiful. People were crying. It was just so beautiful. Oh, look at the mother, the way she hugs her little cub. Come on, you can't make this stuff up. It's flipping beautiful. Oh, is this just absolute? Look how cute this is. And then you know what happened? The mother died. I put a damper on that, didn't I? Okay. And we're like, oh my God. But the mother's sister had cubs 3 months earlier. So we thought, because lions are social animals, we were able to integrate this cub to his aunt and his cousins. And they actually were able to be integrated together. Here he is, he's a lot older, he's 3 months older. But she took him in and she raised him. It was such a beautiful story. But the thing was, now we had him with his mother, well, his foster mother and his foster siblings there. And it was great, but we had to now introduce the male. And we were worried the married male would kill him because he was not the father of this one. He was the father of the other 4, but not the father of this one. So we went through a very iffy introduction process where we got to the point where we said, okay, look at him, he's bigger than all the rest, but he was in there. Okay, so here we go. The mother male comes out, and look, see, his normal cubs are looking at him with ears up. But look at Kawasa. He's like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And sure enough, the Cubs were a little nervous around him, but then he came after Kwasi. And I thought he was going to kill him. Kwasi goes running away. He went to really go to kill Kwasi. And then when the mother heard Kwasi give that yell of just, wow, the mother turned around. You guys know how this is. She wears the pants of the family. She turned around, she said, I'll kill you if you touch him. And he backed off. And from that day on, folks, he never threatened the Cubs again. As a matter of fact, the Cubs would come and bite him and be all miserable. He never went to be aggressive with them at all. He actually embraced these Cubs. It was such a wonderful story. It was incredible to watch the whole family get together for these family shots, and to watch her make up with him. But my favorite shot is this next shot, because it's the shot that happened right after the attack on Kwasi. And when she beat up the male, Jabari, and then as soon as she beat him up and Jabari went away, Kwasi's by himself standing on a tree, and she walked over to Kwasi, folks, and she gently, I can't make this up because I remember taking the image and brought tears to my eyes. She fluffed at him, she put her arm around his back, she brought him to her head, as if to say to him, don't worry, I will always protect you. It's a magical moment, it's the magic of photography. Get a camera, enjoy it. Remember, you're not taking images to win contests or to get published. You're taking images to preserve the memories of your life. Thank you very much for coming out. I appreciate it.
Ron Magill, Nikon Ambassador Ron Magill.